Eric Bischoff had this idea for this. This is before, NWO. He had this idea for these four Mortal Kombat type guys. I was the one who was the guy in charge of that. And putting the guys
Hmm.
together, I was like, Chris is absolutely one of these guys.
Hmm.
And Chris Shelford, knew who he was. And uh, he didn't have to be able to connect to the people in the interview because he just didn't have that much confidence in himself. He had a bit of a shell of this, and he wasn't that good on his feet. He hadn't paid his dues enough to really be able to talk. So putting him in a mask as Mortis was now a guy who really you think he can do anything. And he was known as the innovator of offense because he's the guy who came up with shit other people weren't. It's shocking to me today that I'll be watching some NXT and I'll see something I've never seen before. And it's still happening. I don't know how. Some of the things that they even create any of, like how the fuck can you think about that? How do you practice that? But Chris was one of the first guys who will do that. So sticking him in Mortal Kombat was a natural thing. And it was a shame because right before that was about to take off, they were going to really do something with it. So NWO and, and Chris knew that their push just got pushed to the left. So it was out there. And it was, also they did a big hype for Glacier and then he didn't show. That
Hmm.
was because Mortal Kombat said, no, you're not going to do that. What I can't remember what they changed so they could, but by the
Oh.
time they could, NWO was strong as shit. So that was going to get all the focus. And it was a shame because those were the guys, I put them together for Eric and oversaw that. And like I say, that Mortis character, that was a badass motherfucker.
Even though that didn't go, maybe didn't pan out the way it was supposed to, like that Mortis was still over with us as kids. So like it worked, and then when you pulled the mask off, I wanted to know about him, and I wanted to keep going with Canyon.
Yeah, it's cool that he's got those multiple gimmicks he can put into a game, and the whole positively Canyon thing was just funny.